Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. No, I am still not on the Wainwright coast to coast. Currently back in sunny Dorset, where it is currently about 2 degrees at the moment. Got a wee bit of wind there. There is some snow, believe it or not. First time in years I've seen snow down here. And it's going to be cold tonight. So why am I out in this again? Well, basically something's been annoying me. It's not been annoying me, but it's one of these things that you think about. 4-season tents. And I've decided that with the conditions I've got, snow, wind, rain, cold temperatures, I'm going to nip down to the coast where it's likely to be about, I reckon, about -5, -6 on the old wind chill tonight. So you have all this fandangled equipment that you spend an absolute fortune on. Your thermarest, your down jackets, your highly rated sleeping bags. And we all seem to just use them in temperate weather. Now I haven't got a 4-season tent, however I did get a 4-season inner with my Lanshan 1. Now the big argument, well, it's not a big argument, a lot of conversation online about what is a 4-season tent, and everybody automatically goes to 4-season tent. It's something that you can take up Mount Everest and survive. That sort of theory behind it. Now Lanshan 1 obviously hasn't been fully tested, no, because it's a rip-off of the is it the FUL, what, not the FUL, oh, I can't remember the name of it, but it's a rip-off of another tent. Now it's still nylon. Is that strong enough to take out in high winds? Probably not. It's got a 4-season inner, fair enough. Would it withstand high winds? Probably not. But my argument there is, recently, I think I watched about 4 or 5 videos of people up in the Lake District in the snow and the wind in Hillebergs and all your name brands, you know, big old tunnel tents and stuff like that, getting absolutely trashed in the winds, you know, abandoning their camp and stuff like that and going back down. So I'm not saying that Lanshan's that good, because I think that's what it falls down. Probably the sil nylon it's made of is not strong enough. I've seen people with the Lanshan 2s ripping and falling apart. So yeah, can it get low down to the ground? Yeah, it can. Would it stop snow coming under? Possibly, if you keep the pole down. Is it waterproof? Yeah, it is. Has it got a 4-season inner? Yeah, this one does. Would it withstand high winds? I'm going to find out if it withstands high winds or not. So yes, I'm just going to try this out, see what happens. If it doesn't happen, it doesn't happen. If the weather gets really bad, then just pack up and head back up. You see I've got a different backpack on there. I've only got a 35 litre Berghaus backpack because my Atmos had a couple of issues when we were on the coast to coast, but more about that later. Heading down to the area of Chapman's Pool, and the sleet is now, obviously the lower you get, it's starting to fall as rain as you get down to sea level. So I don't know how that is going to play out tonight, but at about 3 o'clock I think it was, it's hit -2, -1, and obviously with this wind it's going to play a massive factor into it. I can also see the this GoPro starting to steam up a wee bit again. I'm not too keen on the old GoPro. I keep saying that in every video I do, and I keep bringing it out. I think it's because I've spent the money and I can't send the thing back. It just continually lets me down. On the coast to coast, it gave up the chase. The first cold night we had, we managed to get the footage on on the old phones. Yeah, it just froze up. And that was it. I don't even know how cold it was then, but it was freezing. Yeah, so it's an Andrew's Day today, so all Scottish patrons will be celebrating that. I have brought some with me to celebrate tonight, if I'm still here, depending on how the weather is. But yeah, there's doing these kind of camp is curiosity if you've got the time. If you like going out camping, which obviously I do, having all this gear and comes with labels on it, and if you don't sort of look at it, then you're never going to know, are you? It's not a case of that me and Sandy look at our kit and go, oh, don't fancy going up there that time of year. We're like, yeah, let's go, what can we take? Take the hot tent. Oh, that'd be great. Let's take the hot tent and go and put a wee fire on and live quite comfortably. But yeah, oddly enough, the reason I'm checking this out is I have ordered a very controversial tent that should be coming shortly. I'm going to do a review on. I'm not going to say much about it now, but it was all over the hiking community. Even Paul Messner wading in at one point about knockoffs and stuff like that. So yeah, I'm going to check that tent out and see what that's like. Place has turned into a wee bit of quagmire. Yeah. Bicycles, mountain bikes, whatever you want to call them. A bit of a mess. Yeah, just looking at the massive amount of erosion that's took place. I don't even know if I've got a campsite round here, but this has changed massively. All across here and down here. Oh, this all ready to come down. Another overhang about there. Yeah, I don't know if I've even got somewhere to pitch tonight. Right, when is a Lanshan 1 not a Lanshan 1? When it is a Lanshan 2, right? So something must have got lost in the translation when I was picking the tents up. So Lanshan 2. Now this one, when I bought it, was actually advertised as a 4 season, but it's only got the small vents at the top, which I'll show you around here. Yeah, so you have a small bit of vent up there. Yeah, but it's quite condensation heavy, and already because of the pitch that I'm on and the way that the wind's driving that down there, had to put a bit of stick just to lift that off. But we'll go with it. It's a tent, it's waterproof, and just after my conversation with it, they're not very good in high winds, these. They tend to rip. That's the weak area there, and they rip up that way. So we'll find out as the winds are to pick up quite a bit. Yeah, but we'll just carry on as normal. Bit of a bugger to put up in the wind this. Luckily I brought both poles and not one, or it would have been a slow walk of shame back to the car. Yeah, so yeah, we'll just run with it, see what happens. So go in, get the old sleep mat and that all set up for the night, get it all laid out, and we'll go for there. I actually feel that cold now, to be fair, but that might be me just putting the tent up. But we'll see how it gets on later on. It was to clear up about 2 o'clock. Can't see that happening. I think it's about the pitch as well, although I've got a little high area here. The wind's still roaring through here. So got my hands on the little fixed flex tail pump. I think it was 16 quid off the Amazon. So we'll give this a wee blast, see how it gets on. Oh, there you are, that's the first big gusty wind, and it was a big one. That came straight down, so I'm going to have to go out and sort something out for it. That's not going to do. Flex tail, yeah. Blew the pad up. I'm actually giving it a bit of a clean because I haven't really had it out since the last coast to coast. Yeah, I need to go and fix this. Come up with something a bit more substantial. Right, a bit of modification on that. So double pegged in, peg onto a peg, rock on a rock. There's a rock underneath there as well. Put that in there. I suppose you've really failed in any sort of camping when you have to make all these modifications to a tent just to stay dry. But there you go. We'll see how it goes. Right, so I don't know how cold it is. I've got some little thermometers somewhere. I'll drag them out. But yeah, so the GoPro on the way down, brand new battery, charged today, down to 45% already. So yeah, the weather is starting to affect that. Right, so I was going to look at the this little one Tigris quilt that I've got now. So the instructions is it's a one person is 700 grams, which this one is. It's a 20 denier ripstop nylon, and its fill weight is 300 grams of duck down fill that's in it, which is not bad. And once the air gets into it a little bit, it does loft up quite a bit. Yeah, I'm going to try this. I'm a wee bit wet on the legs there, just to get them dried out. I'm just going to sit on the Thermarest mat and see how we go through there. Probably going to get a wee cup of tea on as well, while it's not as windy. That seems to be holding out okay. Had a couple of big gusts, but yeah, still here. Right, I can see it lofting up now. Yeah, it's got little what was the other things on it? Yeah, it's got these little buttons, little push, what do you call them? Little studs on it that you can join them together. There's only 3 down one side and then 3 down the other, and it makes it into a little poncho. So I'm just going to sit with this and see if it keeps me warm enough. The front of this tent is still lifting. Might have to go out and put some rocks at the front of it. But it looks like it'll be out and checking the pegs quite regular, so I don't disappear in the night. Right, tent's up, it's finally stopped. Rain, sleet, whatever it was. Yeah, the temperature, 2 degrees I think it is now. You can feel it now. And with this wind, yeah, it's pretty cold. And believe you me, inside that tent, it is cold. It is not warm at all. Obviously it's a single skin. I don't know if a double skin one would afford you anymore, but I would suspect it would to some degree. Yeah, so we've got the weather shooting over that way, which is coming in. Just spoke to Sandra back in Poole, and that it's still really bad over there with snow. And I know Bournemouth, some of the images coming from there, it's been hit quite a bit. I'm just hoping that I haven't skipped it by being in this little bit of Purbeck is the area it's in. It's amazing out there. I've never seen the waves out there. You can just see the wee white tops of them clashing with each other to sort of tides, I would say it was. Yeah, so what do you aim to achieve doing this? Well, I was wanting the Lanshan one with the 4 seasons in it. Didn't happen. This is actually a 4 seasons as well. Yeah, it's a cold. That is a cold tent in there. I was just sitting on the thermarest because my trousers were a bit wet, just sitting, letting them dry out a wee bit, and they did. But you can see there all the mud. The mud and that's all dried on them. They dry quite quickly. I put the little 1 Tigris blanket over me, and I nearly dozed off. It was actually quite good, and then the rain stopped, the sleet stopped, and then the temperature did drop quite a bit. Yeah, just checked, it is about 2 degrees. I'm going to put one thermometer inside the tent and one outside it, and I'll just keep checking it periodically to see what the difference is. I don't think this tent, the way it's designed with the mesh at the bottom and the single skin, is going to afford you any sort of shelter from that cold. Just by sitting in there for a little while, it is quite cold in there. Yeah, I'm just going to leave this little one here, and then I've got one up there next to the flex tail. Yeah, I'm just going to do that, see what the difference is. As I say, I don't really hold up much hope for the Lanshan 2. It's practically a wind tunnel, but I think I'm going to try and get some boulders and just put it down there, just keep the worst of the wind off. So that's one thing I'm not short of, is rocks. Those guys are doing out there. It's 2 degrees outside, it's 2 degrees inside, so yeah, I think the cold weather feel with the wind and that, yeah, the tent will stop a bit of that. Just when the wind blows, obviously 2 degrees is going to be a lot more. Right, so my GoPro on the second battery down to 28% already. So I bought these, one of these, come on focus, you can do it, one of these extra life type ones. So we'll see how that fares. I've got the other camera with us just in case, but I don't like bringing it out in this kind of weather. Wind is picking back up again, so I put the blanket, the 1 Tigris blanket up there to stop the wind blowing through into the tent a little bit. I have battened it down quite a bit, but it's still getting through. Not to worry, these things are sent to triers. Now, tonight's offering, which is chilli and rice and Wayfair. Right, that's me all fed now. Just had a Wayfair chilli and rice. Not too bad. Wasn't going for the big calories anyway, because you know what it's like. You don't sleep at night if you start eating that stuff. I've got some pork, a small portion of pork, and some. Couldn't bother with the cheese board and that, so I've just got mini cheddars. So I've got some mini cheddars that I'm going to sit and go through. It's about 6 o'clock. Temperatures to drop about 1 to till about 8 o'clock in the morning. It's to go down to about -3. The wind chill, I can't really tell you what the difference in the wind chill is, but before I put that blanket at the far end there in the vents, it was freezing in here, absolutely freezing. I'm now sitting just with the fleeces and that on, none on my feet, and just the trousers on, so it's a bit milder inside here, to be fair. Yeah, the wind is picking up again. Every now and again you'll get a good old coastal burst, as I would say, but I'll go out and check the guy ropes in a minute, just make sure everything's all good. I'm not going to get any surprises through the night. So yeah, I'm going to have a few ports and some mini cheddars, and then watch a wee bit of YouTube, see what's on there, see who's up to what at the minute, and then I'll be hitting the sack. So if anything happens through the night, I shall check in then, but if not, I shall check in the morning. Right, just checked all the guy lines, absolutely fine. One had sort of lifted out the left hand corner, but we're looking pretty okay. There's a bit of light coming up over the cliffs at the back there, so I would take it that's the moon. So could clear out a wee bit, which means hopefully the wind will drop a little bit. It just means it's got to be a wee bit colder. I don't know a lot of the videos I watch on YouTube where the people having issues with branded sort of four-season tents and all that sort of stuff. I want to remind them actually go out and check their pegs and their guy ropes before they go to sleep, sort of thing, because it feels a bit, I don't know if they're doing it for added drama, I have no idea, possibly, but yeah, it's happens a bit regular, where people having issues with well branded four-season tents, you know, with the wind. Well, if the wind comes, it comes, nothing you do. But all the camps that we've done, me and Sandra, we've been in some really bad winds, and had no issues with the MSR. No issues whatsoever. It is that kind of shape that you see a lot of the more expensive four-season tents. It's the same sort of look to it, so that might be the key thing. I know this thing with flat fronts on it can't be good, and the weak points with the tie lines. And to be fair, it's knockoff cheap tents, sort of thing. Yeah, not the tent that I wanted to bring. Pretty sure I'd be a wee bit warmer in the Lanshan one, but I wouldn't have as much space, to be honest with you. It is quite cramped, but the one that I've got is the Plus, which is slightly bigger, but when you put that inner in, it is, yeah, it's a bit tighter. You can get the mat in and that's it. A lot of groans coming off this tent, a lot of noises. Right, so I'm quite happy that the tent's pretty secure. I'm just going to jump in the old sleep bag. I've had my my cheese biscuits and port, so I'm quite done with that. I've got a wee bit left I'll have later on. Yeah, so I will check in if I have any incidents through the night, but if not, I'll check in the morning. The wind's starting to pick up a wee bit. It's about 8:30 at night. Just getting the odd little burst. It's definitely stopped raining. Remarkably dry in here. Thought there'd be a bit more condensation, but there's not. Yeah, the wind has changed. It's changed direction, so the wind before was coming to this side. It's now hitting this corner, which goes with what the weather forecast was saying, that there's two fronts that were meeting up and coming in this way. I'm going to stick my head out and see if the cloud covers moved anywhere, but now I'm getting a cracking wee draft coming in this way, not behind me. Right, that's the frozen condensation on the inside of the tent.
Yeah. Jacket that was a wee bit wet is frozen. Yeah, still a wee bit chilly, but the sun's about to come round, so that should dry it out a wee bit. So I'm going to get some breakfast on.
Right. Yeah, pretty much.
What was the temperature? What focus is in? I can't see. Uh, 3 or 4. Definitely below 0. Hopefully the sun's going to come round there. Maybe melt some of this off. Yeah, single skin. Single skin tents are just like fridges. I don't know what the difference would be with the inner skin, having like a 4 seasons in it. Yeah, we'll wait for that sun to come round.
A wee bit chilly this morning, but you can see that there's the sun. It's just going to come round that side there. You can see the oh, I don't know what you call that, condensation coming off the sea or whatever. Definitely something happening there. Yeah. I'll wait till that gets round there. I'm going to start just get the frost, the majority of the frost off, so I can try and pack this kind of dry. But yeah, I would not advise single skin. Yeah, it'll be interesting. I'm going to get the Lanshan one out with the 4 seasons in it this weekend, because the weather's to get bad again on Sunday. And we'll see what the difference is. See if the if an inner makes any difference, because inside there, if any part of your body was outside that sleeping bag last night, it was freezing. And the comfort rating on the sleeping bag is -5 to 6 on that one, I think. Extreme, it's some bizarre like -25. But you could feel it. You could feel the cold air. Yeah, you could feel it. It was like, how do you explain it? Probably it's like sitting in a fridge, really. You know it's cold outside, you're warm in the bag, but you can just feel that there's a bit of cold round you. When I went out and looked at my phone, and I was holding the phone in my hand, yeah, my hand got really cold really quickly. So it must have been well in the minuses last night inside there. But as I said, I'll get the 4 seasons one out there and see what difference it makes. But the temperature inside the tent was 2 degrees on the other thermometer. But that's maybe the heat I'm creating with breathing. I don't know. But yeah, it was a comfortable night. Wasn't uncomfortable. You just had that thing that's going to get cold. As soon as that cloud cover disappeared and the moon came out, yeah, it was pretty chilly. Oh, that's a bit of an issue when I'm scraping all the ice off on the outside. Forgot it's single skin, and that's it all coming on the inside. Yeah. Yeah, not much difference for your
your homegrown beans and sausages. Taste exactly the same.
So I don't know if you make that out there, it's still just below minus on that one. And the one inside the tent is coming up to 15 degrees. It is boiling in there in the sun. Yeah, really warm. It's just the sun. I don't think it's a warm tent any shape or form. Yeah, there's your two comparisons if you can see it. Inside and outside. Right, let's get this stripped down and get packed away. So this is a Berghaus remote hike 35 litre, so I managed to get everything in there with the food. I could probably put more food in there and stayed another day if need be. It does look rather untidy, let's say that, but it did the job. My Atmos LT that I used on the coast to coast, actually the right hand strap started to split on it, so we sent that back to Osprey, and unbeknown to us, Osprey's headquarters for the European side of it is about 2 miles away from where I live. So we took it up there, delivered it, and it's been repaired, and we collected it. I think Sandra went up and collected it yesterday while I was here, all done and dusted. So yeah, great job there, a great turnaround. What I didn't know was, I probably should have read the T's and C's, the company I bought it from, they weren't taking responsibility for it. It was just, they're a vendor, so it goes directly back to Osprey with your damages. Yeah, but that one did the job, so get it on my back and get headed back up to the car. What a lovely day it's turned out to be. Right, so what did we achieve on this camp? Well, the camp started off, I was supposed to come down here with oh, I wonder if that's another shortcut there, not too sure, with the Lanshan 1 with a 4-season dinner to try out to see if it ticked any of the boxes of a 4-season tent. Well, unfortunately, poor preparation on my behalf, I picked up the Lanshan 2, which in my defence, they come in the same bags, and I did open it up and I forgot that Lanshan 2 that I've got has got like a 4 seasons inner in it, and when I seen the 4 seasons white piece of the inner, I thought, yeah, that's me, I've got it, it's the Lanshan 1, and it wasn't. Fair enough. Luckily I brought 2 poles with me. That would have been a wee bit difficult doing that with one. It would have been interesting doing it with one, but yeah, a wee bit difficult. So to that end, the reason that I come down to do the camp, yeah, sort of failed slightly on that. Now by then doing it in a single skin tent, you can see the pros and cons of that. Yeah, I didn't really get any pros with it. It was freezing inside there last night, and obviously as part of your layer system, the stuff that you wear underneath all your clothes that keeps you warm and keeps you going. I suppose we have got a layer system on the on tents. So sleeping bag, bob on. I say that's rated quite low. But last night, again, any part of your body that was outside that sleeping bag, you struggled. It was freezing. Other wee bits was the thermarest. That the R rating on that is, I don't know if it's the highest you can get, but it is pretty good. When I was lying on it, you could feel the heat resonating back onto you. That just does do the trick. The old thermarest. So sleeping wise, I don't think I was going to get cold inside all that kit, but I will admit, when I was in the sleeping bag, I did have 4 layers on, which is not great, because when you get up in the morning you can't put an extra layer on to counter the cold. Hence I didn't really get out until the sun came round. But yeah, tent wise, was it waterproof? Yes. Did it keep you warm? No. Would it withstand any sort of large gust? Absolutely not. No, it wouldn't. So that is which I would think those types of tents takes it off for anywhere being 4 season. So what is classed as a 4 season tent? That's my question. You know, with all the videos on YouTube, you can see people failing, coming off the side of the mountains because their 4 season, X amount of pounds tent took a battering or a pole snapped, that sort of thing. I mean, let's face it, you can't, excuse me, let's face it, you can't cover every eventuality when you're out in your tent. But is it, you've got to pay a lot of money for it? Is it the brand name? Is it because someone used to do expeditions in it and it was a glorious tent? I'm not too sure. I've got my feelings where it's the same as the R rating on not sleeping bags, but the sleeping mats and stuff like that. It's well renowned. The companies just make that up. And if you look at the stuff you get off AliExpress, of course it's made up. It's a copy. It's a copy of something else. But then I'm pretty sure you can get the X-Mid and all the Durlston tents come as a 4 season tent. But it's a trekking pole tent. Are they sturdy in the wind? Probably not, I would say. But it'd be interesting to know what your thoughts are. Is it a 4 season, proper 4 season tent because it's got a name on it? You know, or is it to do with all the other equipment you've got in it, your sleeping system, etc. And again, what type of person you are. So yeah, I'd be interested to know your thoughts on that. What your thoughts are on what's a 4 season and what's not. Right, so thank you very much for watching, and please check in next time. Take care, everyone.